Hello everyone, my name is Molly, and today we are going to be discussing Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Now, if you don't know what Red Queen is about, I'm going to tell you about it right now. So, Red Queen is about a girl named Mare, and she is a red blood in a world of red bloods and silver bloods. Now, silver bloods are like the gods of their world. They have all these cool powers, and they're rich beyond their wildest dreams, and the reds are like the servants, and they don't have these special powers. It's weird if they do, and it's just messed up. It's a messed up world. So Mare is a lowly red who has these powers. She gets these powers, and so everyone sees these powers, and all the silvers are like, oh, what happens if all these reds get these powers and then they take our power, and they're like scared for their power. So to keep things from going to hell, the queen and the king decide that she is going to play the part of a long-lost silver princess. And so she is the silver princess, and she has to learn how to adapt in this life. She's set up to marry the prince, but she doesn't want to marry the prince because she's in love with someone else, and it's just a whole mess. And yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome mess. Now, I've had this book since it's been released, and the only reason I read it was I was inspired the other day because a friend of mine and I went to the movies, and she's like, oh, I was so unhappy. I read Red Queen and it was amazing, and I've had it since it came out, and I just should have read it. And I was like, dang it, I've had it since it came out, and I've heard so many good things about it. So I decided to finally pick it up, and I finished it in a day. So it's amazing, and go read it if you haven't read it. Those are my wise words. Now, if you haven't read it, I'm going to ask you to leave because I'm going to be spoiling stuff. Avoid spoilers at all costs. Okay, just do it. This plot twist, you need to go in knowing nothing. Just dive into the world. Okay? So if you haven't read it, bye-bye! This book was amazing, and can we talk about this cover for a second? It is so beautiful, and the cover reveal for the second book, The Glass Sword, is coming out tomorrow, and I'm so freaking excited. Now, the cover will probably have already come out by the time I finish editing this because, you know, book talks take forever, and the cover's coming out tomorrow, but I'm still really excited for it. I hope they stay with this theme, though. This book talk is going to be all over the place. There are so many things that I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is, I don't know how many of you watch AOS, but in this, they say they write, we are gods everywhere. The silvers write, we are gods. And my mind just jumped to that episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You guys remember that episode where it's like the Berserker staff and all those people that think they are gods and they deserve the power and whatnot, and like when you touch it you get certain powers, and they write we are gods everywhere. That's just how I pictured it. And then Samson and the Queen both have the same powers as Rhysand from Court of Thorns and Roses, and I was like, that's not gonna end well. I got really pissed off at the parent because this girl is working her butt off to keep you all happy, healthy, as best as she can. She's trying to keep you from dying, basically, starving to death. And they are angry at her when she comes home with food. Given, yes, she had to steal this stuff, but would you rather slowly die of starvation? Like, give the girl a little slack. She's just trying to keep you all healthy and happy and alive, basically. And you're just like, why can't you be more like your sister? Well, why isn't your sister the one providing stuff for you? I did not like Kyler. He reminded me of Gale from the Hunger Games, and I did not like Gale, and I did not like Kylorn either, because Kylorn obviously likes her, and she's oblivious to it. It's just gonna cause trouble, and it's gonna suck. Now, I don't know how many of you guys watch Nikita on here. Not the La Femme Nikita, the other Nikita, with Maggie Q, Shane West, that amazing show. Okay, so my friend and I, we decided to be Netflix buddy partners, and we needed a show to watch. So we decided to watch Nikita, and it's 22 episodes, 4 seasons, so 22 episodes each season, and there's 4 seasons, and so that's like 88 episodes, and they're 45 minutes each, so yeah. And we finished it in 2 weeks. School days. It's not like we had like all day to watch Nikita. It was school days. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. watching them. It was bad. I tried to catch up to her because she was so far ahead of me. But yeah, so one of the quotes in Nikita is if. It's the worst question I know, or something like that. It's the worst word I know. And in Red Queen, they say if. It's the worst word in the world. And I'm just like, Nikita, it's Nikita. Speaking speaking of quotes that remind me of other things, there are two quotes that remind me of other things, and that is, "The face of our glorious revolution," and "Revolution needs a spark, and even sparks burn." And I'm like, Mockingjay, Katniss Everdeen, she's the spark in the rebellion, she's the face of the rebellion, she's the Mockingjay. I was like, ooh, Mare's the Mockingjay, but she's the Red Queen. Rise, red as the dawn. I have a poster here, but you can't see. Can I just say how adorable Cal and Mare are? Oh God, it was so cute. When they first met, I was like, oh, so this, you know something has to happen between the two of them, and it's just like, oh, I love it. I love them together, and he was so adorable. At one point, when she goes back to visit, and she sees Kylorn, and Kylorn is very jealous of Cal, and we all know Cal is from the castle, right? So, Kylorn talks about the resistance right in front of Cal. Oh, I'll tell Farley you said hello. You idiot! You idiot! You don't just go around saying that! Oh God, I was like, oh, you idiot! You're lucky Cal didn't really pick up on that. So she's a silver princess, and she's pretending to be silver. So she's the silver makeup everywhere to make her look silver. She does training sessions. So in training, she starts fighting these people, and she's getting cut, and she's running, and she's sweating. And I'm like, what kind of makeup is this that's so resistant to this? Shouldn't it be like running, or shouldn't it be like smudged or something? Like, shouldn't something happen to it? Because at the end of the day, all you have to do is wash it off. So like, you don't even have to scrub. So how is it staying on throughout the day? So then we get this adorable scene with Cal. She tells Cal that she doesn't know how to dance, and he's like, oh, I can fix that. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna show up to lessons, or he's gonna somehow teach her to dance. It's gonna be so cute, because I had already shipped them for forever, and I was so upset when she ended up being betrothed to Maven instead of Cal. Damn it. So anyway, so I was just so happy that. And he comes to her room at like midnight for like a week or whatever, and he teaches her how to dance, and I think it's the most adorable thing ever, and it's just so cute, and he's just, oh God, I love him. I love him so much. So then, on page 228, we finally get Malkiss. That is their ship name. I'm making it hashtag Mal. Mal for life. Okay, so we get a kiss. I was just like, oh, I love it. I love that scene. I love it. So then we trust Maven with all of us, all of our lives, basically, that he's part of the Scarlet Guard. No, It felt a little fishy, but I wasn't completely, like, I didn't see the plot twist coming. And we'll get to that in a minute, but I didn't see it coming. So I still kind of trusted Maven, but I didn't ever ship her and Maven together. Their ship name literally could be Mare or Maven. I liked them as brother and sister, maybe. Like, I could tolerate him, but he wasn't a favorite character. Like, I would be totally okay if he died. I wouldn't react at all. So then she gets this book that she's told not to trust anyone with. It's this book of all the red-blooded mutants. She gives it straight to Maven. She trusts people too easily. I'm like, seriously? You're surrounded by Silverbloods, and you can't afford to trust everyone that easily, but she does anyway. So she's just like, here you go, look at this list. You should have made him do something significant. None of that was significant. Give me a few names. Give me things I can attack. He could easily have forged those things. He could have easily said something else. He could have set up a trap. And then they decide during this fight that they're going to give Cal false hope. Because Maven's like, oh, he'll always choose you. And so she decides, oh, I'm gonna make it look like he has a shot with me. We're gonna I'm like, he does have a shot with you, you idiot. You love him. Whatever. And it is so freaking adorable. And I'm so angry because I'm like, it's not real. It's not freaking real. And it's just, she's like giving him false hope. And I was so angry at her for that. I was like, that's a terrible plan. Come up with a different freaking plan. I don't like it. I don't like it. So anyway, so we give him false hope. And then Cal gets really angry. I'm like, good job, Mare. And then we get this giant plot twist. And I'm like, So I'm getting ready to read this book, right? Or no, I'm reading the book. And I see this thing I gotta take a note on. So I'm like, okay, I'll flip back. And I keep my Post-it notes. I keep my Post-it notes like right here for some reason. And which is beautiful, by the way, on here. But yeah, so I keep them in there. So you can understand that if I'm like reading and my Post-it or my bookmark was so far behind. So I'm like reading and then I go to write something in. So it closes on me and I'm like, usually it's a big deal. But right now it wasn't a big deal. I was like, oh no, I know where I am, it's fine. So I flipped to where I thought I was. It was the page freaking plot twist on it. So I read the page, trying to see if anything seemed familiar. It was the plot twist and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I did everything I could to avoid spoilers. Every time someone mentioned Red Queen, I was like, no, shut up, I have not read it yet. I do not know what this freaking plot twist is. And so much for that. I spoiled myself. And I was just so upset about it. But anyway, so this plot twist, man. Stupid freaking Maven. I never liked him, but I could tolerate him. I was like, oh, he's harmless. I should have known better, but I didn't see it coming. And I was like, damn it. So, yeah, I didn't see it coming. They're forced into this arena by his brother because, as punishment for killing the king. She has a sword at points in the book, but she does nothing. She decides to fight hand to hand, or she's just, like, running away. And I'm like, you have a freaking sword. Like, use this sword that you have. I'm really upset because they're really angry at each other, and the Scarlet Guard doesn't trust him. And it's just so, I'm like, oh God, no, please no. I want it to work out. But of course Mare had to go and screw with his emotions. It's just stupid Mare. So, those were my thoughts on Red Queen. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought of Red Queen, and I'll be coming to you guys with a new video soon.